Hi.
Hi.
Let's see where to begin. When I was growing up, my mother wanted nothing to do with anything to do with, let's say, makeup tips or grooming or anything to do with preparing for life as a woman. My mother wanted nothing to do with any one-on-one training. I mean, she just was not into that. And I didn't really have any sisters. So, I decided when to start shaving. I bought my first tampons. A girl named Beth that I heard is actually doing time in Huntsville for armed robbery taught me how to put on my blush. She said it was really important to blend it into the temples, to achieve an overall look. Which is really a 7th grade tip that's worth its weight in gold. I mean, that does keep on giving. I guess I was probably about 23 years old when I met my friend Jane, my second job out of college. And even though Jane was 40 and she's married with a kid, I never really thought much about the age difference. I knew Jane liked to laugh and drink and smoke pot. And really at the time, those were the top 3 criteria I had for any friendship. So I liked Jane. And unlike my mother, Jane was the typical Jewish mother. She was really affectionate, she loved to gossip, she always knew of the coolest, latest trends. I just loved her. So one day she's sitting in my office talking about how she's getting ready for a beach vacation and has to make a sugaring appointment. So I said, well, what's sugaring? And she explained to me it's like waxing, only all natural. I told her I'd never been waxed. And she looked at me like I shot her kid, I mean, she was like, wait, are you telling me that you're still shaving your bikini area? And my heart sank. I thought, oh my God, is this one of the 101 things that my mother neglected to tell me that I was supposed to start doing? Like, is everyone running around getting sugared right now? Like secretly, and I'm the only one with some like crazy bush forest growing in between my legs. I mean, I really was freaking out. Jane took my hand ever so gently, and she said, you're gonna go get sugared, and you're gonna go see my lady. She's Egyptian. I was like, yeah, okay. So next thing you know, I'm sitting in the waiting room of a place called Cleopatra's Secret. Wondering when the Egyptians cornered the market on hairlessness and how I missed this, When out walks this Egyptian woman, kind of floating, and she sings my name, calls me back into this room. She picks up this big, hot glob of brown goop onto a tongue depressor and looks at me and tells me to take off all my clothes. All my clothes? I mean, I kind of just came for this part here. But she's Egyptian, so who am I to argue? So I take off all my clothes, I lay down. She looks at me and starts explaining why sugaring is so much better than waxing. She goes, it's all natural. Oh, you don't believe me? Watch this. And she proceeds to put that big goop into her mouth and eat it. True? All natural. Oh, that was so gross. So finally she just starts to go to work on me. I can't see what's going on, but it is really painful. And the only thing I can see is this poster on the ceiling that says, welcome to Cleopatra's Secret. And as I'm laying there wondering, like, what's the secret? She comes up for air, and she whispers in my ear, this is going to hurt because it's over the bud of your flower. And I'm like, is the bud of my flower. And then I feel it, and I'm like, oh. That's the secret. And as I'm sitting there writhing in pain, she looks at me and says, turn over. But I mean, she is a professional. She comes highly recommended. Let's not forget she's Egyptian. So I turn over and then she waxes the hair out of my ass. And I got no bud warning, okay? I didn't get anything like, this is going to hurt because it's over your holiest of holies or anything like that. She just did it. So she tells me to stand up. I look down. I've got about this much hair left. It looks like a reverse hole punch. A cut punch, if you will. I look over at her, she's beaming with pride. She's like, oh my God, this is great for sex, your boyfriend's going to love it. Well, I didn't have a boyfriend at the time. I mean, in fact, I really didn't have anyone to bounce this off of to see if this was normal. Like, maybe this wasn't okay. I couldn't go to Jane because she had sent me to this Egyptian butcher in the first place. So I did what any grown 23-year-old woman would do. I went and showed my mother. The same woman who had nothing to do with anything personal was now face to face with my snatch patch. And she picks this time, of all times, to get in touch with her Jewish roots. She looks at me and says, well, how much was it? And I said, $75. And she goes, look, I don't know what this is, but I do think you paid too much for it.
After the trimming that I had told everybody about earlier with the cloth cutting shears, I was like, I am going to wait for pubic hair to come back in style. And it's back! And it's back! It's back! And I have been ready for the past 20 years. I am not, I can't. And I've heard, like, they're like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. It's like some Eastern European women and they just tell you to live, and I'm like, and spread wax on my labia and asshole? Oh, they don't even care. They're gonna care. They're gonna go home and talk about, no thank you. And we've talked about this before, but the only people who don't have pubic hair are children. Oh, it got a little quiet. Yeah. I am so sorry to do this to you, baby. My husband's shit is like a fucking forest. It is amazing. It's a good thing he has a big dick because I would have to like swim through it. And then the two of us, it's just this 70s mass of amazing. That is what we do. We are never taking, no, it's all good. Hair grows where it should, except my legs and my armpits. So,